Hello, this is the Yes Prep White Oak Senior Academic Probation information. This presentation will be voiced in English, but we will be providing Spanish captions. This information is for the year 2020 and 2021. Normally, when we have these meetings, we have an opportunity for parents to ask questions. Depending on the time of day this video is released and the time of day that you are watching this video, the opportunity to ask questions may not be available. If you're watching this pre-recording, please feel free to reach out to the front office at 713-924-5200 with any questions you may have about senior academic probation. During our normal academic probation, these are the individuals who will be presenting during this session. But for this recording, the presenter that is speaking is Mrs. Adeshina, who is the Director of Student Support. Normal presentations, when we have a live audience or a live session, you will have Ms. Kelly Amon, who is the grade level chair for 12th grade, Ms. Pilar Rodriguez, who is the grade level chair for 9th grade, Mrs. Kiana Davis, who is the high school dean of students, and Mrs. Danielle Washington, who is the director of college counseling. Before we dive deeper into what you need to know about your students' academic probation and what they need to do in order to increase their grades, we want to make sure we ground ourselves in our White Oak values. This is the way in which we operate here at White Oak, and it's important that as parents and as stakeholders, we are all on the same page. The first White Oak value we have is of team. We must work together to get our students on track academically. The second one is enthusiasm. We must have a positive attitude and remain optimistic about our students' ability to achieve academically. The last one is continuous improvement. We must focus on our students' goals and take the steps necessary for them to reach it. At the end of today's presentation, you will understand what happens in a typical school day of White Oak. You will find your students' individual schedule. You'll find and understand their academic status, as well as understand graduation requirements and how to contact their specific teachers. So you may be wondering, what is academic probation and how does this affect graduation? Well, that's a great question. Academic probation is an opportunity for you and your child to understand where they stand as it relates to graduation. So are they going to graduate or are they not? Are they failing classes or are they not? Are there missing classes? It's also an opportunity for us to reset expectations as it relates to students' academics, take advantage of any interventions or implement interventions if needed, and ensure that your child graduates, because at the end of the day, that is our goal here at Yes Prep White Oak. This is a screenshot of the Yes Prep Public Schools high school graduation requirements. At this time, I would advise you to pause the video and either take a screenshot of this screen or a picture so you can understand how many credits in each subject your child needs in order to graduate. At the bottom, you'll see the total number to be 26, and each individual section is how many classes of the subject that they must have in order to graduate. For example, the first box that I see is English. In English, students must have 4 English credits. English 1, which is 9th grade, English 2, 10th grade, Pre-AP, Introduction to Rhetoric and Composition, or AP English Literature, it's 11th grade, and then AP English Language or AP Literature in 12th grade. So this is how you read this chart and this is how you understand it. If your child did not take or pass all of the required courses, they are in danger and jeopardy of not graduating on time. Additional graduation requirements that wasn't reflected on that chart are the following. Seniors need to be able to pass both junior and senior seminar courses, and they have to be accepted into a 4-year college. Now, gaining acceptance doesn't mean a commitment to attend, but they must gain acceptance. And this is where it is super important and crucial that you and your child are in constant communication with our Director of College Counseling, Mrs. Danielle Washington, to ensure that your child is doing the necessary steps in order to ensure that they can be able to apply to a four-year university. Junior and senior seminar are courses where students focus on SAT preparation as well as learning other soft skills and hard skills for their success in college. Yes Prep High School credit recovery. So in the event that your student is missing a credit, or in the event your student is failing, Yes Prep does offer an opportunity for students to regain the credit through something we call credit recovery. So any classes that students score a 69% or below will need to be recovered during spring credit recovery. So right now we are in the fall semester. Fall covers August through December, and spring begins in January all the way through May. So if you have any credits that are outstanding from the fall semester, that means that they must be regained by next semester, because school ends in May of 2021. In terms of the logistics of how, when, and where spring credit recovery will be given, we have not been given that information from Yes Prep. We hope to provide you more information by winter break. And it's important to note that each class has a cost of $100. We are not offering payment plans for students to register for this course. Classes must be paid in full. And if classes are not passed by May 2021, students will be at risk of not graduating. So we talked a bit about graduation requirements, how students can make up credits. Now I want you parents to understand what a daily schedule looks like for a student. On the left-hand side, you will see a sample schedule that all students at Yes Prep in the district follow for the day. They have a total of 4 classes each day. Each class is separated into a synchronous, which means live teaching from the teacher, and asynchronous, which means independent work time in each part. So the classes are about 90 minutes each, and you have a 50-minute lunch break and then 3 5-minute breaks throughout the day. So if your student is not passing, here are a couple of things that we have found may be happening. Students are not logging in at all onto Teams. Students are logging in but are not participating. Students are not asking questions to understand the material. Students are not submitting their assignments on time. And students are not following up with any missed classes or missed assignments. We recognize that given the pandemic, that this time is extremely difficult for students and our families. However, the success of your student and ability for them to graduate is dependent upon how well you are able to help them to navigate what they need to do and know and understand for this school year. If you are curious to find out more about what your child's schedule is and entails, here's the steps in order to find it. Again, feel free to pause this video and take a screenshot of the screen or a picture of the screen. So the first step you want to do is log into Skyward. At this point, we should be all familiar with Skyward. This is the platform that you use in order to select which program option you wanted your child to have, whether it was virtual or in person. When you click in Skyward, you are going to type in the student's email and their password. You can also utilize your email and your password. If you're having difficulty knowing what your username or password is, please feel free to call the front office at 713-924-5200. Once you are entered into the website, you want to select on Schedule. It is going to be at the top right-hand side. When you click on Schedule, you will notice that it will pull up your child's schedule and the schedule for A day and B day. Now that I've shown you how to view your child's schedule, I want to show you how to view your child's grades. Again, you are using Skyward, which is the same platform you use in order to view their schedule. Once you log in with the correct username and password, you're going to click on the option that says Grading. All right. After you do that, you'll want to be able to view their grades for the entire year. So it's going to ask you grades for current classes or for all year. You want to make sure it's on all year. Then you want to ask what school year. You want it only to show for the current school year. And it's going to show you their grades, their quarterly grades. So PR1 means quarter 1 progress report, and M1 stands for marking period 1 or quarter 1. So like this is their current grade in class, okay? So M1 equals their quarter 1 grade. And in a year we have 4 different quarters. I know that can be a bit confusing, but again, if you need to take a screenshot of the screen to assist you, please do so. So here's more examples to understand the columns that I just mentioned. So M1 means their overall quarter 1 grades. M2 means their overall quarter 2 grades. Exam 1 is the common assessment grade, which we just took about a couple of weeks ago. And then SM1 is their semester grade. So semester grade is what you're going to be looking for at the end of quarter 2. And then you can also understand how many missing assignments students have by just clicking on the bottom where it says current missing assignments. Here is the school schedule for when the progress reports and report cards are distributed. Today is November the 5th, so the next report card distribution will be happening on, that date on this chart is wrong. I want to rectify that. The new report card date is going to be November the 13th. So by the time this video comes around, you have already received your child's report card, but for future references, the dates that are coming up, you will be able to know. So after the next progress report you'll get is November the 30th, Wednesday, December 2nd, so on and so forth. So if you're a parent and you saw your child's grades and you see that they're not meeting expectations in terms of academics and you are a bit confused as to what steps you can take next, here are some suggested parent actions that I would take if I were you. 1, I would view and understand my child's grades every single week. I would communicate with my student. It's important for them to understand their struggles, from their perspective, and use that time to be supportive. I would try and identify my child's gaps, reach out to the teachers for more information, reset household expectations, and frequently check in with your student and their progress. I recognize that some parents may be working while their child is at home learning. You can do things like calling your child frequently, have them show you the completed work that they did by the time you come home at the day. It is really, really, really important that you are on your child and ensuring that they're completing the work since they are virtual. They are not on campus for teachers to be able to do that. So we need your help in order to hold them accountable, because we cannot come to your home and physically teach your child. So it is your responsibility to ensure that your child is not only getting online and learning, and also turning in any assignments. And last but not least, I want to provide you with some information on how you can contact staff. If you have any general questions about academic probation, you can reach out to Mrs. Ashley Garcia. This is her number here, and then between these times. If you want to speak to a child-specific teacher, all the emails for their classroom would be the first name dot the last name at yesprep.org of any of your child's teacher. This is the best way in order to reach out to them. And again, depending on when you're watching this video, you may or may not be able to ask questions, but if you have questions, feel free to contact Ms.